Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toaster Bros, and today we have a Dell Optiplex, but it is not a regular Dell Optiplex. It's actually a modded one, and I did not think they could take the mods any further, but they have.
So yeah, we saw that Optiplex that we bought. I believe that was from Best Buy or Amazon, whatever, on the top right corner. Check the video out. That has an infinity display baked in, and now they added even more RGB to it. So where will the RGB additions to Optiplexes stop? I don't know. Hopefully this is it. But before we dive into it, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Accelerate Gaming, powered by PNY, and their new Mako DDR5 memory that comes in speeds up to 6200 megahertz, capacities of up to 32 gigabytes, and a beautiful black design, making it great for your Intel 12th Gen or upcoming Ryzen 7000 series gaming PC build. DDR5 is quickly becoming the new standard, so learn more about picking up this PNY Accelerate Gaming Mako memory by checking the link in the description down below. And special thanks again to Accelerate Gaming, powered by PNY, for bringing you today's ad.
So we picked up this Dell Optiplex for around $500, and actually comes with some pretty decent specs that we'll go over here in a minute, and it might also come with the keyboard and mouse, but we're not totally sure. So
yeah, let's just go and open it up and talk about the specs while we do so.
We got a i7 4790, which is 4 cores and 8 threads. Not quite i3 10100 level, but definitely not too far off from it. And we have a 550, which should be what do you think, that's 4 gig?
4 gig. We had some weird issues with a 550 in another build, so maybe, just maybe this one will be better.
I'm hoping this one's better. So it did actually come with a MTG, which is My Technology Geeks keyboard and mouse. I've not seen this before, but not the worst presentation. Yeah, I mean, it's backlit. It actually has like some branding on it. Let's see if it actually came in one piece though, because if you guys watch all of our videos, you'll see recently we did a pre-built, and yeah, the mouse and keyboard was in pieces. Looks like there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, I guess I should probably get it.
Probably just open it up and see what we have going on here.
Look at that.
Nice.
Not bad. There's a whole freaking hair on it. And then for the mouse, looks pretty nice. Like, it's kind of grippy. So yeah, looks pretty good. It's a 2-in-1 gaming set. It's just like one of those like Gomdia sets. Really basic, but looks good. Can't complain. I mean, it was kind of free in a way. So, you know, because I didn't even know we were getting it. A package and then a package.
That's a remote.
It's the remote for our exciting RGB. So, I mean, right now it just looks like an Optiplex, right? I mean, nothing really too crazy.
Nothing special.
I just see Optiplex. I do like, this is interesting for sure.
Corner protection.
Go ahead and take off our corners. Go and get this thing out. So it looks like we got a full-size Optiplex. Yep. We got a nice, what they call the MT, which is mid-tower. So this is the biggest, the Optiplex in its final evolution, its final form. I can already feel it. Oh my God. It looks interesting. So more than likely what we have here is
so much worse than the pictures.
They definitely made it look really cool in pictures. So more than likely what we have here is basically like almost like an AliExpress type deal. I mean, someone could be, for all I know, have a laser cutter and doing this themselves, but I would say more than likely they're just buying these like pre-made, fabbed up items. They probably made one and then had prototypes and everything. We're gonna peel this off. Satisfying peel, I mean, I'll give them that. So it basically looks like we just have like a piece of, I guess, acrylic that has painted over, and then they just etched out the parts that has the RGB on the back. That's my guess of basically what it is.
And they even put their own branding there.
Tech magnet. And then up here, I think, aren't we gonna have an infinity display?
That is an infinity display, so it gets the best of both worlds.
It's like cracked and stuff.
Is it cracked?
Look at all the, it's just nasty all over it.
Oh wow, they did a pretty
bad job. I can definitely see the LEDs already though, so I'm gonna go and turn it on them.
Just turn it on, see if it has any redeeming quality. So far, it kind of looks like somebody just did this as like a project on their own, and it just,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're getting ridiculous with Optiplex.
This is getting ridiculous.
Let's get our RGB going. It definitely smells like, it smells like cut acrylic. It smells scary. It smells like I shouldn't be near this thing breathing.
But we get RGB, or is it just solid colors?
Oh, it's gonna have RGB, I can already tell. I love RGB, never can complain. It definitely looks better than just like red or something. It's just one of those things where like, we're at the $500+ point, and it's like, at that point you can probably get a normal gaming PC. Oh, look at this. Dude, they get a freaking warranty.
Oh, they won't even let you open it?
If you open it, it voids the warranty.
Are you kidding me?
Guess what we're gonna do?
We're gonna open that.
Guess what we're gonna do?
I have to cut it actually.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous with an Optiplex.
It is, because I mean, you're like bound to need to troubleshoot these things. All right, here we go. That's why I don't want you opening. It's scary on the inside.
I smell the acrylic now. What's on the bottom? It's like,
I don't know. It looks kind of like it's got like condensation. Like maybe it was in a warehouse or something at one point. So it looks like RAM-wise, they used the wrong slots, which I'm not the biggest fan of. They used 4 and 3 instead of 1 and 2, even though like they're clearly labeled. Here is our like LED connector. So it is a 3-pin ARGB that's just going to like a little adapter there, plugged into SATA. It looks like we have a SSD.
I think it's a 240 with a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yep, we got a 256 gig, it looks like. You can see that. I don't know what brand. And then, yeah, the hard drive you said is how many?
I think it's a 1 or 2.
Okay, well, it's definitely interesting. Now, 550 is just like a standard, like, low profile one with the full size bracket.
It looks exactly like the one from the other Opti that we saw where it was like very low profile.
Yeah, it definitely, wasn't the other one the one that was like a knockoff one we thought? It could have been fake.
We thought it was fake and it like...
This one looks like a legit, like...
The other one was branded for the company and I don't see any branding on this unless it's on the little part that's spinning.
It looks like I mean, they might have changed thermal paste, but I would be very surprised if they actually did. There's no branding. You can actually see there used to be a sticker on the fan, but they took it off. So.
Nice.
I mean, it has HDMI and DisplayPort, so I don't think it's like a super old card. It does say RX 554 gig on the back. There's a full model number, so I'm sure if we looked it up, we might find a brand. Looks like RAM-wise, they used wow, they actually have their own brand, My Technology Geeks.
Same things, yeah.
And
it's 16 gigs.
Yeah, 16 gigs. I don't really get why companies like this make their own RAM. It's like, I'm like, can that
It's just extra cost for no reason, I feel like.
Yeah, because when it's stuff like this, I don't really think having your own stuff really matters that much. Who am I to judge? I mean, clearly they've done something sort of right.
Something sort of right, but...
yeah, no, I mean, overall though, I mean, it looks like we got what we paid for, so that's a good start. I guess the real question is if we hook it up, does it work? And does it work well?
Let's do that.
Find out. All right, guys, we were playing Apex Legends, and so far, not looking great. For some reason, 550s are actually a good card. Like, it's not bad. A good budget card, I should say. I mean, like, we test the 460 out, for example, in Apex Legends and Warzone, a couple other games, and that's a 2 gig card. It works pretty well, like 1080p low settings. For some reason, though, this is the second system we've tested with the 550 that's been, I would say, pretty bad at low settings. I mean, it's playable, it's just not great.
Yeah, the frame times it just looks laggy.
Yeah, like the FPS isn't terrible, and it's smoothing out in some spots, but I definitely would not want to be in a competitive game with this kind of latency, if you will. So maybe one thing we can try is after this round, I can try to lower the resolution, maybe.
Yeah, we'll try it
and see if that helps. But Apex Legends is a weird game though, where like I feel like sometimes doing stuff like that just doesn't help that much. No, don't kill me with the P2020.
Hey.
I'm doing a McAllister just to prove a point, just to prove that I can.
You gotta be out of shields. You're running low on ammo.
Am I really?
Yep. Got one clip. Hey, wow, they're awful.
FPS isn't like, I know it's a good amount higher actually. We're getting like 30 to 40 more. This game really doesn't look like, some games look awful when you really lower settings. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it's not as bad as I thought it could be. This is like low of the low. This is 32 inch, right?
How did we go to 100 FPS? Like,
is that right though? Is this 32?
This is
or 28 maybe?
28, I think.
I mean, it's a big monitor. We're on 720p and it's not helping my gameplay. Oh my God. I got the car though, Matt. Get away from me.
Goodness. And this is the worst gameplay.
Oh no, I'm getting double teamed.
What are...
Teammate, please.
I don't
please, teammate, please.
Alright, they're just...
Yeah, let's go, bro.
Wow.
Dude, they can't handle the bob and weave. Oh, he's lit. Oh, I bet that he was AFK.
AFK.
He was probably in the spawn.
Yeah, Apex Legends. Gotta go 720p for this one. It's not ideal.
Yeah, there's something about the 550. Maybe it's the 550 with these older Optiplexes. Maybe it has to do with Gen 3 versus Gen 2, maybe?
Yeah. It could be.
I don't know.
But yeah, these games like this, not gonna work great, but we have some other games that should work great, so let's try those. All right, guys, we are now in Fortnite, and I'm jumping in a little bit late here. Running at DX11, which is just the default settings of Fortnite, because you know what? I'm just tired of performance mode. I'm tired of messing with Fortnite in general, if we're being perfectly honest here. I'm just gonna leave it as is, and man, the RX 550 is just not as good as I remember it being, but also, again, this is another game that we've had issues with AMD graphics cards just purely based on drivers. So, I don't know, we're pretty much running all low 90% render scale 1080p, and we're struggling to get to 60. Fortnite, the new crisis, question mark? So the frame rate is settling out a little bit. We're actually getting like 60 to 70, but there are some dips below. So it is technically playable, but it's not nearly as good as I would expect a system for $500 to perform. That's where it all comes back to, is the price of the system for what it is. You're really paying for an Optiplex that was modded, and the mod is not really something I would honestly want to pay for to begin with. So, you know, it definitely is an interesting product, but regardless, you know, here at the Toasty Bros, it makes for good content. Ugh. Got him. Oh God. Goodbye. Wow, look at me. 10 kills on the board right now and just popped up in tomatoes.
Tamagotchi.
Great gameplay. Oh, he decided to portal away. What a little baby. Is that guy gonna come back for me? I don't know. All right, ready guys, this is gonna be epic. McAllister, get ready for a montage. Okay, I failed. Oh. It's a stormtrooper and he just blasted me. I'm reporting him. Yeah, I don't know, the stormtrooper blasted me. Star Wars, woohoo. All right, let's go on to the next game. All right, guys, the next two games we're gonna test are built-in benchmarks, and maybe one day we'll get some actual gameplay of GTA 5. McAllister did say he would come in here and get us to a point where we could actually play, but today's not that day. We're on normal settings, we're gonna run that built-in benchmark and see what kind of performance we can get, run GTA, and then we're gonna run a very demanding game because every time we do these budget PCs and we try to actually test budget games, like esports games that are meant to run on these, you all were like, well, why won't it run a high-end game? Well, we're gonna show you why, because we're gonna launch Forza 5 and run the built-in benchmark, and you'll see exactly the downfall of these kind of computers with like older i7s and like an RX 550. But we're gonna go ahead and run GTA 5, and then we're gonna switch over to Forza. All right, guys, and it looks like we ended up getting an average of about, let's say 90 FPS. So yeah, GTA 5 on normal settings will run perfectly fine. The 550 is a weird card, man. There's some games that just should run better than it does, but it just doesn't. So yeah, GTA 5 works, but because you all asked, we're gonna test a high-end game, and that is Forza 5, and we're just gonna go and run that built-in benchmark and see what we can get. All right, guys, last game we're gonna test, built-in benchmark, Forza Horizon 5, and we're running 720p just to give this thing a fighting chance. Medium settings, let's just start that benchmark and see what happens. Well, look at that, guys. At 720p, medium settings, we got a beautiful average of 30 FPS. I mean, 30 FPS is technically playable, but I don't know, man. This is not gonna be designed for high-end games. In recap, if you're using an RX 550, you gotta know it's not gonna be meant for playing some AAA titles. It's really gonna be for your Minecrafts, your Fortnites, your CSGO, Valorant, things like that. But more or less, we bought this PC for its crazy-looking RGB, and I really do think these Optiplexes have gone a little bit too far in terms of making them more appealing to new customers. So yeah, this is an interesting build. Glad we bought it for the video, but let's go and wrap this video up real quick.
All right, guys, so the modded Dell Optiplex, it's pretty, you know, it definitely had some money put into the aesthetics of it, but in terms of the actual price to performance, it's not quite there. I mean, if this thing was just maybe $100, $150 cheaper, I would rather pay that than pay like however much more to get this in the front, because at that rate, you might as well just get yourself a custom case and do your own build.
So yeah, this was an interesting build, and as always with these builds, if you check that link down below, it's probably still sold out like when we were recording this video, but you can at least see where we actually bought it, and we'll also leave some suggestions for other pre-builds if you're in the market for a pre-build by checking the link in the description down below. Those will be affiliate links, and it will help us out.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
So if you guys want to pick up this PC, because you know it probably is still sold out in the link down below, we just have a way you might be able to get it if it's not already sold out.
PCBros.tech is where we sell beautiful gaming PCs we feature here on the channel and some one-off custom ones. And if you use code ToastyBros2 on checkout, you can save 2% on your next order. Check that link down below. See you guys later. Goodbye.